My name is Adam. I'm from Hortons. I've been speaking with business owners in the East Midlands about the effects of coronavirus on their business. Today, I'm joined by Rob Spence, MD of Paragon Sales Solutions, who offer business-to-business telemarketing, sales calls, and freelance sales contracts with the help of Bobbert, his alter ego, and sales consulting, social media marketing, and content writing for all sorts of businesses. Rob is also an author, having released 3 books, and helps all sorts of businesses improve their sales. So Rob, thanks for joining me, and your friend.
Sorry about Bobby. He keeps trying to make me a coffee. It's really awkward. The kind introduction, that was really nice. That was really well read out. Thank you very much.
Yeah, well, thanks for having coming on board and having a quick chat. And I think, I mean, just before we started, we kind of highlighted the fact that you're in the business of helping businesses grow, and so on the front line, really, obviously speaking to a lot of operators in business that are probably stuck in obviously a difficult time, and able to advise people on how to counteract that and keep sales up, and if possible, and yeah, just interested to get your thoughts on what your clients are doing, what you're advising people really to help get through a difficult period.
Absolutely. So obviously, let's not beat around the bush. It's really, really tough for a lot of businesses out there right now. You know, there's a lot of, I hate to use the word unprecedented because I hear it a lot, but we are in unprecedented times. We're in very uncertain times, and there's a lot of nervousness out there, and quite rightly so. Now, for what we've been doing for a lot of our clients, and we've been very fortunate with our clients, is we've been trying to spread the message of positivity. This is a period in my eyes where people can make a name for themselves, keep their chins up and keep pushing forward. Don't get me wrong, this will affect businesses in a whole array of outcomes. You know, let's face it, the retail sector, the high street, will get affected, I think, more than anyone, alongside the hospitality sector. I think now is we've got a real good positive time to double down on our marketing, come up with some solid marketing and sales strategies, because this will end. We just need to be ready for when we push forward. I see it as, right now, we're a bow and arrow situation. We're pulling that bow back, ready to push the arrow forward. And we've been doing a lot of things with our clients over the past sort of 2, 3, 4 weeks. A lot of that has been planning. A lot of that has been developing content and understanding how we can push that content out differently. Looking at the whole sales process, you know, this has opened up a whole wealth of opportunity for everyone to turn more digital. I'm never going to shy away from the telephone. You know me, Adam. I love the telephone more than anything. However, look at this interview we're having now. I'm sure that if we could meet face to face, we'd be having a beer or a coffee or whatever. But the advent of technology and being able to include that into your sales and marketing strategy is absolutely crucial for businesses right now.
Yeah, sure. And so, is it more? Are you working with clients more on that preparation phase for a bounce back, or is it a case of like doing that whilst also adapting the way that you're selling at the minute, or are you not selling at all?
It's a mixture of both. I mean, we do a lot of work within the hospitality sector. Obviously, there's not a lot we can really push and promote there. However, my key advice is do not bury your head in the sand. If you've still got a business, there are still key messages you can communicate, and we are communicating on behalf of our clients. So whether that be letting our clients' next customers know that they're refurbing the restaurant, or they're tidying up their garden, that kind of thing. We work a lot within the financial sector as well. So we've been doing a lot of selling on behalf of the financial sector and gathering leads and such for the financial sector. That seems to be so far fairly unaffected. I could be wrong, but in terms of what we're delivering in terms of leads, it's been fairly business as normal. And if anything, I think what this has done is alerted people to the fact they need to keep a check on their finances, whether it be commercial or personal as well. So for all intents and purposes, for Paragon, we've been absolutely still driving the sales message forward for a lot of our clients, really.
Yeah, sure. Well, I suppose, yeah, when it comes to finances, particularly, like, I suppose it's a time like no other that people are going to be auditing personal and business expenses and stuff, aren't they? But I suppose, like, none of that's possible unless people are driving sales. Like, that's the most important thing, really, isn't it? So I think businesses that turn the switch off too early in terms of lead generation or their efforts with driving revenue. It's that should be the last thing they touch, really, shouldn't it?
100%. And that, you know, you've pretty much just stolen everything I was going to say, Adam. So thanks for that, mate. I'll just end the interview now. No, 100%. And listen, I know it's very tough because with sales, there has to be some kind of investment into sales, whether you're doing it yourself, whether it's a time investment, or whether you're kind of spending money on your marketing budget, whatever it is. However, now is the time, in my opinion, to double down and really continue to communicate, get your message out there, get on the phones, I wrote an article for someone the other day and I discussed, you know, now is a vital time to keep those key relationships within your business solidified. One of the reasons, we'll come on to this later, I guess, one of the reasons I started what I started and what I write about in my books is I hate this stereotypical salesperson, you know, the pushy, the over the top, the kind of absolutely loves the sound of their own voice. To me, a good salesperson is a listener and a communicator and a relationship developer. And by for businesses to get in touch with their clients, past, present, future, even their suppliers, getting on the phone, having a chat, it could have nothing to do with business, but by introducing that relationship development stage of a sales process now, like I say, when we're ready to go again in, I don't know, 2, 3, 4, 8 weeks, the whole economy will be ready to go.
Sure. Yeah. And I suppose, what about in the meantime though, where you've got businesses that are stretched in terms of cash flow, desperate for sales? I mean, obviously, correct me if you think I'm wrong with this, but from my experience in managing salespeople, one of the worst things you can do is show desperation. And if people are desperately trying to get deals through the door, or get in front of prospects, and if people have got their back against the wall because they're trying to survive over the next few months, have you got any tips for people that perhaps still need to be speaking to prospects and still getting deals done, but trying to stop that kind of sense of desperation that is really counter intuitive and counterproductive to getting deals done?
Yeah, 100%. Once again, you've hit the nail on the head. You know, it always reminds me of that character from The Simpsons. Do you remember that salesman in The Simpsons? And he always just seemed overly desperate because his wife was going to leave him. He was going to lose his job.
Yeah.
Do you remember that guy?
I've watched a lot of Simpsons, but I can't remember. Maybe
I kid you not. Wait, it was either a Simpsons character or my dad. I can't remember. It was one of the two. No, it's definitely Simpsons. Definitely Simpsons. Yeah. And when like you say, when you come across desperate, when you put yourself across as absolutely fighting for the sale, you can hear it, you can sense it, you can smell it, you know it's coming, kind of thing. It's the worst thing you should be doing. Whenever you're selling in this environment, I think a certain amount of empathy and a bit of emotional intelligence needs to come in play. Not everyone you're selling to is going to be ready to buy your product or service in this current climate. A lot of people's pockets are overworked at the minute. People don't know when the next pay slip is coming through. Many people have been furloughed, and we can go on for that for a while. However, to me, the best people in the world, the best salespeople in the world are no different to doctors. If you walked into a doctor's office with whatever ailment it is, you go in, the doctor doesn't look at you and say, Adam, I'm just going to give you this pill here. They go, take that, get out of my office, go. I need you to buy it because my company says you need to buy this pill. The doctor will sit you down and say, look, Adam, what problems are you currently facing? What symptoms are you going through? How long have these been going on, and so on and so forth? All the salesperson then has to do is just prescribe the solution to that problem, right?
Yeah.
And I think now is the time, if we think of the salesperson developing those relationships, whilst engaging in those conversations, discovering those pain points the client, the customer is having, and solving the problem.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's so easily forgotten about when it comes to sales. And if you've had it on cold calls, I suppose, like where people just jump on and then they're just like, I don't know, their mouth is racing off, trying to get what they want to say through in the hope that they just happen to catch it at the right time, when it's about listening, isn't it? I like that. I've probably stolen this from somewhere. I definitely didn't think of it myself, but you know, like the term, like, can sell ice to Eskimos or something. And it's kind of like the whole idea of like, why would you bother doing that when you rather sell them a heater because they've got loads of ice? Like trying to sell them something, that's crap, isn't it? But
no, I like it. I'm going to steal that myself. No, I do.
but
Yeah.
like the idea behind like establishing what people's needs are, I guess you like if that's done with good intentions, then you're not like ramming something down someone's throat, are you? It's completely different.
And that's like what I said at the start of this little section. You know, I said earlier, I hate salespeople. I don't hate salespeople. It's that stereotypical image of, like you say, you're getting a cold call and they're saying, "Hi, it's Rob calling from Pigs and Co company. We do this and we do this and we're amazing and we've been doing this for years and you should definitely buy from us." And you're sat there, your ears bleeding, and you don't know what on earth they're talking about.
Yeah.
However, if that conversation opens up as a conversation, it's, "Hi, Adam, my name's Rob. How are you doing? You well? Listen, what challenges are you currently facing? What's going on in your world? Is there anything that you think we can support you with?"
Yeah.
The selling process becomes so much easier. All you've got to do is offer the right solution to that problem at the right price, let's face it, and away we go.
Yeah. No, brilliant. And would you be able to just give us a bit of a story about how kind of you've arrived at running at Paragon and your background in sales and stuff? How have we arrived here, sort of thing?
Yeah, well, so it's all a drunken mistake, to be honest, Adam. No, you can edit that out. So I worked in sales management for a fine food company. So we used to sell fine food and ingredients to fancy hotels, cookery shows, Michelin star places, and so on and so forth. Mm-hmm. Now, I was located in our Leicester office, and what the people above me noticed is that the sales in the Leicester office were outperforming every other depot. Our year-on-year increase was going up and up and up, whereas the other depots were just sort of a couple of percent here and there. And I took the blame for that. So I was in charge of all the other depots to raise their sales. And it was at this time where I published my first book, Relationship Selling. And it's pretty much all about what we've been talking about now, developing that relationship and listening. And on the back end of that, I got so many people asking me for help and support with their sales. And I was in a bit of a tough place because it was like, I can't really help you because I'm employed full time and I'm really busy. And I soon recognized that, and you said it earlier, one of the most important functions a business can have is sales. If you're not selling, you've not necessarily got a business. You know, you could make the world's most comfortable armchair, but if you can't sell it, it will sit in your garage for years and it'll be a forgotten dream.
Yeah.
But then what I also recognize is that you can outsource your human resources, you can outsource your finance, you can outsource your marketing, all these aspects of a business, but no one's really hit the nail on the head with the outsourcing of sales as a product, you know, sales as an operation to a degree. So so lo and behold, Paragon was formed. And what we wanted to offer was a cost-effective sales solution to businesses who might not necessarily have the time to sell, the skills to sell, the expertise to sell. And we just want to help all of our clients sell more. And whether that be helping them to get more appointments, solid sales, leads, brand awareness, information, whatever it is, we'll tailor our approach for any of our clients. We've just entered year 3. So year 3 started in March, actually, start of March. We've moved from my bedroom into offices. I've now got a team of 5 including myself, and we're continuing to grow. And I think it's just because of our pure dedication for our clients and getting the right results for them.
Yeah, brilliant. And what are your plans moving forward? I mean, obviously, coronavirus aside, how do you see the next couple of years panning out? What are your plans for the business generally?
Well, for me, it's a real hard one because I've not really set anything in stone, because I know that anything can change, anything can be thrown in your way. For me, I want to build a team around me that are well looked after, that know exactly what they're doing, that we can then pass on good services to our clients, because I believe we will naturally grow if we keep delivering results and keep seeing an increase in our clients' results. There are growth plans in the respect of, let's face it, the kind of nicer things in life, the better offices, and you know, I've not got this guy popping over my shoulder every 2 minutes to give me a cup of coffee, you know. And you know, we've been very fortunate that I've got a team around me who do a lot of hard work. They go above and beyond, and if we stick together, continue moving forward, then the sky is the limit.
Yeah, cool, nice one. And I think to round things off, and try and provide something that's really quite actionable to anyone who's listening or watching this. I'm sure there's loads of, especially to the self-employed, whether that's in trades or smaller businesses, that I found that business has dried up. But they're probably not natural salespeople. I don't see sales as a major kind of part of their business, especially if they get a lot from word of mouth. But suddenly there's revenues dropped and they need to go out and find business, and they're doing that for the first time. I'm sure that's going to be the case for loads of small businesses. What do you think for someone who's brand new, fresh into thinking about sales process, what's the best place to start, and any tips for someone picking up the phone for the first time to make a sales call? What tips have you got for them?
Okay, so if we narrow it down for this time of where we are with COVID-19 and such, there's three things that any business owner, salesperson should be doing now in my eyes. A, that's communicating. So whether that be on social media and digital marketing is very good. And let's face it, a lot of it is free. It only requires your time. Communicate with your customers. Communicate that you are okay. Remain positive. You will come fighting back, and let them know that you will be there for them when we're allowed out back into the real world. Continue to develop those relationships. This is an extension to the communication. Get yourself on the phone, send out those emails, have those conversations, as I said earlier, with your clients, past, present, and future, and your suppliers. Maintain those relationships, develop and nurture those relationships. And the third thing is plan ahead. Now, you don't have to be a sales consultant or a sales trainer or the world's best salesperson to come up with a sales and marketing plan. Use this downtime, use this quiet time to think about what activities you are going to put into place when this is all over. And think about the tools you can then implement within that sales process. So whether it be utilizing the phone a bit more to sell over the phone, whether it be utilizing social media, whether it be looking at doing digital ads or even, paper ads, come up with a plan, an actionable plan that when this is all over, we can get going with. And in terms of the phone, what I'd say is I could give you loads of tips, but the number one tip is don't be afraid to pick it up. Oh, you can't see it because of the background. It is there. Don't be afraid to pick it up. The telephone is still the most number one disruptive form of marketing in the world. But as I said earlier, digital marketing is cool. It's fun. It's trendy. What happens when your phone rings? You look at it. Curiosity gets the better of you. Pick it up. And there's a study, and I can't remember the statistics off by heart, and I wish I did, but the number one key influence in any form of communication is tone of voice. It's not the words spoken. It's not body language. It's the tone of voice. So get on the phone, develop those relationships, and start those conversations.
Perfect. And with people's downtime, they can also buy your books and have a read of them, right?
Well, I was hoping you would pitch it and plug it because I felt a bit awkward plugging it myself. I mean, there's three you could probably go for, but my latest, A Month to Improve Your Sales, is available to get on Amazon as we speak. So thank you very much, Adam. It's a really good sales guide, 31 chapters. The idea being you read a chapter a day. Don't worry, you can still read it in February. I'm not going to whinge about that, or any days where it's not 31 days, but a chapter a day, it'll take 15 to 20 minutes. If you implement at least half of the tips within that book, I bet my bottom dollar you'll see an increase in your sales.
Perfect. Well, thanks very much again for your time on this. I mean, there's some really actionable stuff that if any business owner is facing uncertainty with revenue, and you need to reach out to people, generate more leads and stuff, there's some quality advice there about how people should go about doing it, and definitely check out Rob's books as well, hopefully that has a positive impact and helps everyone get through these next few months. So thank you, Rob.
No, thank you for having me. Thank you very much.